What's good, family? What's good? It's Tommy Big Vic. We back in here with another live Q&A. So today I want to jump into today's topic, right? Building your business over entertainment, right? There's a lot of us that love entertainment, and we're wondering why we're not making any significant changes in our financial situation. So many of us want to be so many of us want to be entertained. We love an entertainment over getting into the bag. So what's good? We're gonna jump into that today, y'all. How y'all feeling out there? Hope y'all doing amazing. Hope y'all doing great. We back with another live. Who we got in the building right now? Let's see. Inside the squared circle with King. What's good? Jerome, what's good, my guy? Barbara Lee, what it is? Let's get it. Let's eat, baby. How y'all feeling? How y'all feeling? Where y'all tapping in from right now? Where y'all tapping in from? We got a lot of new people that done joined the team and joined the family. Tampa is in the building right now. What's up, Tampa? I see you, Fred. I see you, Fred. 3D perspective. Yes, sir. Detroit. We got the D in the building. Texas. Milwaukee. What's goody? What's goody, y'all? Let me get a little, throw a little ambiance on in the back. See what I got. Uh, Let me switch it out real quick. Da-da-da. I can't hear it. Where is it? There you go. All right. Cool. What's goody? We back. We are back. We back. Oh, Vegas. Vegas is in here. What's up, Vegas? What's good, Vegas? Viva Las Vegas is in here. Who else we got? Who else we got? Baton Rouge. Oh, I see CT in here. VA in the building. We got VA in here. What's good, y'all? Appreciate you, 3D. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, we working, man. We working. So I wanted to jump into uh just get into I want to do a Q&A, right? I want to do a Q&A. So I know some of y'all been hitting me with questions. Georgia in the building. What's up, Tasha? I see you. ATL's definitely checking in. But I wanted to answer some of you guys' questions. I know you've had questions, and most times I'll jump on the live Q&A and I will answer the questions that I'm not able to respond to, in the comments uh, at the time. So I'm definitely going to jump into that. But I want to get into the amount of entertainment that we consume. I want to talk about that. I want to jump into that because I know that's like a heavy topic right now. Like just the amount of stuff that we consume and the amount of hours that we spend consuming entertainment when it doesn't benefit us or when it doesn't impact our bank accounts. right? It happens. It happens. It happens to the best of us. It happens to the best of us. I remember when I was heavy on that PlayStation one time. I'm talking about I was heavy on that thing. I blew 2 straight years playing Madden. I'm I'm, I'm gonna talk about myself. I'm gonna talk about me, y'all. I'm telling you. I'm talking about me. I can't speak for anybody else that's watching live right now, but I'm talking about me. I remember blowing 2 straight years entertaining, playing Madden live, online, playing Madden online in battles and challenges, calling up the homies. We on SOCOM, we on all this stuff. I'm blowing, I'm blowing straight days of valuable time. Bank account was lower than I don't know what. But I know when I got out of that shop, I was on them sticks at the crib playing Madden, just just killing time, basically, right? So a lot of times we can get stuck in that mode of entertainment, right? And until you get really focused on less entertainment and more focused on building and growing something financially, right? You'll find yourself still being stuck in that same in your same situation. And then just wondering, why am I not getting anywhere? Like you really will. Because that was my situation. That was me. Man, listen, man, I was heavy on the sticks. Couldn't tell me nothing. Man, I thought I was the best Madden player in the country. For real, for real. Listen, I was buying books, strategy set. I was trying to listen, I was buying books for strategies, all types of stuff, man. I should have had a gaming channel, to be honest with you, as much as I studied that stuff, just so that I could be unbeatable on them sticks. Anybody out there can relate to what I'm saying right now. Just, ju- just, just throw a thumbs up in the chat if you can relate to that. But we find ourselves just like even now, it's even worse now. Like if you don't even play PlayStation or you play games or anything like that, you still will find yourself being entertained by just things on social media, TikTok, YouTube. Most people come on YouTube to, study stuff or trying to learn something. But TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, find yourself blowing hours on that stuff and really not being focused on your business. That was me. I'm speaking for me. That was me. I was blowing so much time, y'all. Blowing so much time. I literally a weekend when I left that shop on a Saturday and I was off on Mondays, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. I'm on the game. When I left the shop, I'm home on the game. Make sure my kids ate. I'm back on the game. Blow. Listen, I literally, y'all, I'm telling y'all, I literally blew 2 straight years just gaming. This was before it even got big on like YouTube and all that other stuff. But I thought about how much time I wasted on just entertainment. And that same time, I could have used that time to study and been building something significant for myself. But I didn't. Like I found more enjoyment at the time and playing with them games than I did, you know, trying to build me a business or grow my finances or learn to just learning different things, different strategies and stuff like that to to grow. Now I was dealing with doing personal development stuff back then, but I wasn't, I didn't have a business that I was starting little businesses here and there, but I didn't have anything that I was super laser focused on at that time, like that couple of years that I just was playing games, just entertainment stuff, right? So, and now it's 10 times that through social media. This I'm bro, when I tell you y'all, and y'all know this now, y'all know now that everywhere you look, man, there's it's something to take your attention away from whatever you're trying to focus on. Right? You can be focused on one thing and you'll grab that phone and you just I call it the magic finger. You just start right there, that number right there. Next, next. Somebody lock you in for a second. Next, you before you know it, you don't blew 3 hours. Half the day gone. Just fooling around with social media and not taking any real action towards your dreams and your goals. It's so easy. Like it's so easy to get distracted, man. There's just so much going on. Information is everywhere you look. Another greater opportunity. Just the grass just looks a little greener over there. You scroll to the next one. Oh no, they got something for you over here. So you got to learn how to manage that time. You got to learn how to manage that time. And when things start hurting bad enough, you 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 start looking at that, looking, opening up that wallet, be like, yo, I done spent 5 hours with this phone in my hand just scrolling, and I didn't get nothing accomplished for the day. I got my fix. I got my social media fix, but I didn't really learn anything that was gonna help me get out of this rut that I'm in. That's something that you gotta master, and you can do it little by little. You can do it little by little. They call it dopamine. Go look that up. If you're not familiar with that dopamine, it's that thing that just keeps you coming back locked in and scrolling, scrolling. Gotta learn how to take that time and use it. We all listen, all of us have the same 24 hours. We all get the same 24 hours in the day. But what you do with your 24 hours makes all the difference. That's what's gonna make all the difference. That's what's gonna separate you from everybody else. That's what separates rich folks from poor folks. What they do with their 24 hours. They just decide to do something different with their time. That's it. That's it. All right, so I'm gonna look in these comments, man. I'm see what questions that came through. What we got? What we got? What we got? And I'll touch on that as we touch back on that as we go through. Uh, if you had to do what it says, if you had to do it all over again, would all over again? Would you go buying versus renting again? Absolutely, absolutely, absolutely. If you watch any of my videos, you always hear me talking about buying versus renting, right? A lot of that also depends on a lot of that is going to depend on your situation as well. That's going to depend on your situation, whether you're in a position to buy versus renting, right? So I don't know most people's financial situations, what their situations look like, but I personally decided to buy because after, kind of looking at the rental side of things, I'm like, okay, it's just gonna make more sense for me to go buy a vehicle, especially back then when I started, because you can easily go through $10,000 renting a truck when you could have taken that same 10,000 and went and found your used truck, or went to an auction and took that same amount of money and found you a used truck versus renting. And then you got that rental payment every single week, whether you're renting weekly or whether you're renting monthly. Yeah, right. That's like a decision that you just have to, that you have to make. But I personally, I'm still with financing, or buying it straight out if you can. But if you can't, you have to do what you have to do. But if you have to rent, you definitely have to find you a rental rate that's reasonable, that makes sense. But you not only do you have to find a rental rate that makes sense, you have to find the work. that's going to add up to offset that rental cost. And if you have a new authority, there's a couple of things that you need to really be looking at. You really need to be looking at, you know, whether you're going to try to book loads yourself, or whether you're going to try to find someone's authority that you can lease on, that has lease on to, that has a mature authority that you can get right in the game and start making money, versus having to figure it all out, with a brand new authority. Right. So that's just a decision that kind of a decision that you have to make in the very beginning. But I'm all for buying. I'm still all for buying, man. If you're in a position to buy, I say buy. Still, like I'm standing on that one. Like I'm buying. Hopefully that answers your question. Let's see. Yeah, Nunu, what's up? Texas. Yeah, man. Definitely. Go definitely go to OTR. Like if you starting off, I would definitely say go OTR, man. Go OTR. Make the phone calls. Make the phone calls. Get if you go OTR, get really good at getting on that load board super early. When I say super early, 7:30, 8 o'clock Eastern time. Get good at getting on that load board early and just finding uh try not to fill up your truck with one broker's load. Just try not to fill it up with just one broker's load. Partial that truck out. I'm gonna keep saying that. Partial that truck out of your OTR. Right? That's the best way that you're gonna be able to win while you're OTR. And if a broker needs all of their freight on your truck, make them pay for it. Make them pay for it. Don't have a broker paying you partial money when you got a full truckload on your truck and you can't add any more money to it. So you have to be compensated for that. Let's see. Man, so you got Nunu, you better sell. Hey, that's facts. You better sell that Xbox, man. You got time to be playing. You ain't got time to be playing no. You don't listen. If you broke, you don't have time to be playing no Xbox, bro. We keep it real with you. If your money not right, you don't have time to be playing no Xbox. I got one better for you. Put a sleeper in your box truck, put a TV in your box truck, and put your Xbox in your box truck. And while you're sleeping with a load in the back of the truck, or you're resting, taking your break, then play your Xbox. But be making money. Be en route. You know what I'm saying? That would be my advice. If you want to play the game while you on the road making money, right? Play the game on your downtime before you go to bed or something. But at least you got that bag back there in the back, right? You got to play the game smart. Don't play the game just to play. Play the game to win. Work smart. Oh man. Oh man said 3D perspective said I'm on that joint right now. Said he on the game right now. I'm telling man, listen, bro. I had it bad, bro. I'm serious. I had it bad. It ain't nothing to come home and wasn't nothing. It was so easy. I already knew what was. Listen, when I got off work, y'all already knew. When I left that shop, I already knew it was going down. Pre, I already done pre-gamed who I'm playing for the night. I done hit everybody up like, yo, we on tonight. And then what made it even more crazier, I done had I done I had so many of my clients going out buying PS5s back then. Or not fives, I'm lying, PS3s or whatever we had, PS4 something like that. We was buying the PS4s. We was playing the SOCON game, and we had clan wars. There's like 7, 8 of us. We taking on different clans in SOCOM on the military game. We got scheduled battles and all types of stuff. I'm telling you, I blew some years playing them games, man. Blew some years playing them games. All right, I saw another question. Uh, Somebody asked a question. Um, where was it? Okay, so Taj said, I'm dispatching a box truck with the new authority. What's a good strategy that you used when you first started to get loads? So something that you can do uh with the main thing is starting early on that load board, right? The main thing is starting early on that load board. Now, I will say this: if the authority is super new, if you're using DAT load board, you're going to see a lot of loads that have the check marks by them. That means that load is factorable through OTR. Now, most of those brokers are super established, and they may have a time frame that, some of them 6 months, 180 days, 90 days active authority. But the ones without the check mark, right? Most of those loads can't be factored unless you actually factor in company if you can factor them. Now, the thing with the ones without the check mark is they may be a little more lenient on the age of your authority, right? They may be a little more lenient to let you run one of those loads, right? Let them know you have references of brokers that you ran freight for before. Send them your references. Like when you're emailing on the load, already have those references in your signature, especially if you know you have a brand new authority. So all the brokers that you ran loads for, put those references in your signature as you're emailing. That way that broker knows, like, okay, they're new, but they've ran loads for this broker right here, this broker right here, and this broker right here. That's going to give you a little more credibility than versus you just asking how much uh you know just getting the load information from that broker. think that's I think that's a nice little gem right there I just gave you, especially if you have a brand new authority. And like I said, a lot of time is when you're talking to that broker, it's how you're talking to that broker, right? Sound like you have a little more experience. But I feel like if you put your references of other brokers you ran freight for in that signature, that's definitely going to help you stand out amongst other people that are not doing that, that have a brand new authority, that are just calling and trying to book a load with that broker. So that should definitely help you out, Tasha. I hope that helps answer your question. Rich said, what is your option on the Isuzu FTR 26-foot box truck? I do know a guy that has one of those Isuzu box trucks. I'm not too familiar with those, to be honest with you. I'm not too familiar with the Isuzus, but I do see them rolling out. I do see them out there on the road, but I'm not super familiar with those. So I couldn't tell you too much about it. Excuse me. I know I'm gonna have to go. Yeah, KJ, if you just starting you out there in Spartanburg, you got a new authority. Um, yeah, definitely. I always recommend people go check out Indeed. Check out some of the gig apps as well. You can always look up some of the gig apps and see what uh see what pops up. Check out Freight. I usually get hits from Freight a lot. FRAYT. Check them out. You should be able to, and I think they have loads that pop up out there in that Spartanburg area as well. And you don't have to have you don't have to have an aged authority to run their stuff. It's a pretty good app. Most loads I see pop up from them are usually at least, over a couple $100, not even going super far. And most of their stuff is like picking up at Lowe's and dropping off at either residential or businesses. So check them out, especially if you're new. Uh, said Darius said D-Lo with DNA Cargo. What's up, Darius? LLC and DOTMC went active on Friday. Congratulations to you, brother. Just found out riders selling trucks with no down payment. Yeah, they've been doing that. Just keep your eyes on Ryder though. Even though I bought one from them, so just keep your eyes on them. Pay attention to that paperwork, especially with the no money down. If they get you financed, ask about that interest rate. Make sure you find out what that rate is that they have on the vehicle. So Brandy Utley, can you run local box truck loads in Houston, Texas, and still make a decent profit? Just depends on your expenses. Depends on two things: your what type of freight are you moving, what rates do they have on that freight, and your overhead expenses to run your business, to run your truck. All that's gonna you got to pay for a truck. That's gonna put things in your favor off the top. The less expenses that you have, the more money you're gonna be able to retain in your pocket. So Texas is a huge state. So Texas kind of Texas is like Cali to me, right? You can run that Texas market. You should be able to do decent in that market without having to leave that state. But me, I'm out of there. If I'm running, I'm running wherever the money take me. To be honest with you, I'm running where the money take me, and I'm putting more than one load on that truck. That's how you're gonna make your most money. I can. That's how y'all gonna make your most money. I just had a mentee last week. We ran. And shout out to him if he watching right now, Monty. What's up, Monty? We just ran. Where we run a load from? We ran a load from North Carolina to New York. Then I picked up the next morning. I picked up a load in New York, two loads in New York. Wasn't too far from each other. One was about 90 miles from the other one. Picked up two loads in New York, one dropping in New York and one dropping in Massachusetts. $2.80 a mile for one, and then the other one was $2, right, somewhere like 250 or something like that a mile. But one was paying 1150, the other one was paying 900. Two loads, two loads, and I think we were probably right at 6,000 pounds. 6,000 pounds. So I was able to do over a couple $1,000 for those two trips, right? Our first trip was our first drop was 137 miles back in New York from Massachusetts to do that last drop. And then we running another one tomorrow. We dropping again back where we picked up that New York load from the same shipper, but we're taking that one to New Mexico. We got a nice bag for that one. We over 4 grand for that one by itself. And I'm putting something else on that truck to go with that. Light load. I think it's 3,000 pounds. Oh man, listen. Like I said, we going where the money take us, man. We're going where the money take us. So nobody can tell me there isn't any money out here in this business. Nobody can tell me. I don't care what nobody says. They can't tell me there isn't any money. You don't know what they looking in all the wrong places. If that's what they spitting right now, they looking in all the wrong places. My mentee made more money in one day than he ever made in his entire life. He said, "Bro, I ain't never made this much money in a day. All I did was sit back and smile." He said, "Man, what are these people talking about out here?" He said, "This is crazy." He like, "Man, you know what we did in almost a week?" I said, "Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, I know we did. I booked them. I know." The Renaissance, man. Renaissance is the Midwest good for box truck freight, like it is semi truck freight. Absolutely, absolutely. It's the Midwest. There's not too much difference from box truck freight than there's semi freight. It's just smaller partials of freight that's not going on a semi. And then a lot of times you can catch the same loads that are going on semis going onto a box truck. So it's not really too much difference. And all of that is a part of your negotiation. All of that is a part of your negotiating skills with these brokers. Anytime I'm negotiating, I'm always negotiating higher just to see where that broker is at on that load. When they ask you what's your rate, I'm always going high. I'm not shooting up. Listen, whoever starts off low loses. I'm shooting high. I'm gonna say something crazy. They immediately gonna say, "Oh yeah, I can't do it for that. I ain't gonna make no money." And what can you do it for then? What can you do it for then? Yeah, man. Listen, the Renaissance. If I had to go anywhere, if I had to pick a location to go doing this business, I would keep my trucks in the Midwest, hands down, over any other locations. I'd keep my trucks in the Midwest. Freight is always moving in the Midwest. If you watched other lives, if you've seen me talk about where freight is moving at, it's always moving out there. It's always moving out there. And I was on the East Coast getting that bag this past week. I got a load going up to Oregon, and I got this load we got going to New Mexico tomorrow. I got one dropping in Oregon in the morning, another one going to New Mexico in the morning that I'm putting something else on because we got until Thursday to drop that. So I'm we probably gonna get about 6, 7 thousand on the way to New Mexico. I can tell you that now. I already know how I'm gonna run that. I'm gonna run that one up. We playing different out here right now, man. We playing different out here. Um, what is the max load weight for a 26-foot box truck? If you got a non-CDL truck, you gotta weigh your truck, bro. But the max load weight, you probably gonna be around 9,500 pounds. I wouldn't put nothing over 9,500 pounds on that truck if I got a non-CDL box truck. If you got a CDL box truck, you probably can carry up to about 15,000. But you gotta weigh the truck, which means you gotta go to a a, a diesel truck, go to a Love's Pilot or Quick Trip, go by that cat scale, run that truck over that scale, You're gonna fill it up with diesel, and you're gonna fill it up with diesel exhaust fluid. Make sure everything is filled. You're gonna run that truck over. You're gonna weigh it. It's gonna tell you what your weight is empty. That's gonna be what you call your empty weight when you get that paper back. It's gonna tell you what your weight is. Or if you got the app on your phone, the CAT scale app on your phone, it's gonna give you your weight. You're gonna take that weight and subtract it from your 26,000. That's gonna be your max load weight that you can carry. That number that you get once you do that subtraction. That's how you know for sure that you're not gonna be overweight when you're out here moving freight, right? And what I would advise you to do is when you go pick a load up, once that truck gets loaded, go back by that weigh station. Go ahead and pay that little $12. Weigh that truck again. See what your weight is with that. Find out what your weight is now that you're loaded. Because you want to make sure that you're underweight, and you need to see how. Okay, if I don't have a full truck right now I need to see how much more I can put on here, how much more I can scale. Because the broker can tell you the load is 5,000 pounds on your paperwork, but you get to the scale, you actually weigh more. You don't want to be riding overweight. The whole purpose of that is to make sure that you're in compliance and not carrying more than you're supposed to have on that truck. Always check behind behind those brokers or those shippers that say, okay, you're looking at your BOL and it says 5,000 pounds. You go by the weigh station and it's 6,000. That's a phone call that you have to make to that broker. Like, hey, you told me this load was 5,000 pounds. This load actually weighs 6,000. I just weighed my truck. I need some more money. Right. So if you're overweight, I mean, not over your actual weight capacity, but if you're carrying more than you negotiated in your rate confirmation, you should be getting paid more money for that load because that's costing you more fuel as well, right? Some good tips right now that I'm giving you, especially if you haven't done this before. Oh man, Bramer. So, what's the insurance required for the box truck? Depends on what you're carrying. The minimum that you have to have uh covered is 750,000. That's the minimum. Typically about 100,000 cargo. Nasama, how to get contracts using your box truck. Check out Indeed. Check out Craigslist. Hit Google up. Hit Google up. Go over to sam.gov. Several places. Several places. Wait, Barbara Lee said, man, I had a rate con signed and already en route. Broker called and said one of his coworkers booked the load with another driver. 1 hour later, call asking if I need the same load. That's crazy. Yeah, man. That New York to Massachusetts, bro, paid me real good. That paid me real good. Man, let me get that. Let me get that. See, I already had. Matter of fact, I had one of those what was that thing? I forgot what they called it. It was like one of those stand up pallet jacks that they ride, that they move freight with. But we moved one of them over to we brought one of them out to Yankee Candle out there in Massachusetts. I said, man, slide that on that truck, bro. Slide that on there. Let's get it. Let's get it. Uh, let's see. Next question. Bro, I've never ran anything across the border as far as I'm not sure if you mean like Canada, but New Mexico, no problems with New Mexico. I was just everything regular. No, they didn't need anything additional other than my normal paperwork. What's up, Fed Baby ENT? What's good? Appreciate you tapping in. uh, let's see, let's see. Hey Tiff, I meant to shoot you an email too, Tiff. I meant to shoot you an email just to check on you. For sure, for sure. Boy, these man, these be the funniest ones right here. Uh Jabbar said, New Year's Day of last year, I got a last minute call from TQL asking me to take a crate from JFK to New Bedford, Mass for 800. I was living in Delaware at the time. I left Delaware at 1 p.m. and delivered by 12 a.m. That's what's up. All right, that's what's up, Tiff. Absolutely. Yeah, that lift gate. Make sure that lift gate working right too. If you're looking at it, absolutely, please make sure it's working right. So that's the thing with like with Great West. You have to be, rolling for a couple years to 3 years before they'll even, insure you. But like everybody knows Progressive is gonna insure almost all new carriers. They can make you pay for it. You got a clean driving record, all those things. Um, but if it's a new company, you got a new MC, Progressive, you got Berkshire Hathaway. There's a few different ones that will, that will insure you, give you some commercial insurance. Oh man. I wanted to jump on here before my birthday will kick my birthday will officially kick in, y'all, in about 2 hours. Actually, an hour and 55 minutes. Yep. The birthday shenanigans will start on tomorrow. Oh man, is it worth it to start a box truck business and hire a driver instead of me driving? Hmm. That's a very good question. That's a very good question. I usually recommend I usually recommend people drive themselves first. I usually recommend you drive first so that you get a feel of what it's like to be running in that truck instead of putting somebody else in there first. But it all depends on what you have going on. Um, it all depends on what you have going on. Like if you're hiring a driver and they're willing to go, OTR, or if you have some local work set up where it's gonna make sense for you to put a driver in the vehicle, then you know it definitely can be worth it for sure. If you got a driver that's willing to go OTR, and help you run it up, then yeah, for sure, it'd be worth putting a driver in there. If you put, as long as you putting the right freight on that truck to make the numbers make sense, then yeah. Uh, so real right. So, what's an alternative way to age my authority without insuring a box truck if I don't plan on using it at the moment? I'm leased onto a company at the moment doing household goods. Uh, you're gonna be insuring something. You're gonna be insuring something because you're gonna have to have a VIN number on a vehicle that you're gonna be paying insurance for while you're aging your authority. The only way to age an authority is by paying insurance on a vehicle. I'm not saying it has to be a box truck, but it has to be a commercial vehicle, or that because they're gonna want a VIN number. So you're gonna be paying insurance on it. Whether and if you did that, probably the cheapest route for that is gonna be letting the insurance company know that that vehicle is not gonna be going no more than 500 miles. It's gonna be local, right? So you're gonna incur an expense. You're gonna be putting a down payment down. You're gonna be doing all that stuff just as if that truck was actually running, or whatever that vehicle is. You're still gonna be paying. Like, like, yeah, you're gonna be paying regardless. So that's why I just recommend that people that are coming in the business to get, if you're getting a truck and you're gonna start running that truck and you're gonna get an authority, you're gonna be paying the insurance anyway. So it may as well go on a vehicle that you're gonna purchase to make some money with versus doing it the other way, right? If you're making money running under someone else's authority, then you need to have a vehicle that you're paying the insurance on, so that your authority can age. But that's the only way that is going to age. You gotta have a vehicle. Gotta find a VIN number. If you don't have a vehicle, you got to find a VIN number. But I personally just don't recommend that way because to me it's kind of crazy to me to be paying money on something that's not moving. You get what I'm saying? Like I'm not making no money from it. I'm just trying to age an authority. Nah, no, 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 no. I'm getting in that vehicle. I gotta make some money with that thing, man. Yes, sir. Them brokers will give you. They will call you, bro. Load not even on the truck yet. A million phone calls. Are you loaded? Take a pic of the freight. Yeah, it can get aggravating, bro. Trust me. It can get aggravating. I did a short about that, man. This is horrible. Yeah, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate the birthday shout out. Appreciate the birthday shout outs. Yeah, man. Tourist, y'all know it's tourist season right now. Y'all know it's tourist season. We out here. We out here in these streets this year, man. This month and part of next month. We out here, man. Appreciate the birthday shout. Appreciate the birthday shout. When do I feel like I will retire from driving a box truck? I'm this year. This year. What you mean? This year. That's why I got driver. I'm hiring drivers. That's why I put the I'm reaching out to the drivers, all the drivers that responded. I'm hiring 2 drivers. Yeah, I'm not. I'm putting drivers in those vehicles now. But I got to run the operation at this point. Appreciate it. Appreciate the birthday shout, Golden Mind 33. Appreciate the birthday, Tasha. Appreciate it. 3D. Appreciate it. Um, let's see. Um, so right now, I recommend dispatch experts. Those guys, they know what they're doing over there. They definitely know what they're doing over there. I recommend them until I start my dispatch company. Shout out to dispatch experts. But they're pretty good. They know their stuff. They definitely know their stuff. They definitely know their stuff. Appreciate the birthday shout out, Barbara Lee. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Many blessings. So I've been driving we over 3 years now. 3 years, March, April, 3 years, 2 months. 3 years, 2 months. Almost 3 years, 3 months to date. Appreciate it. Appreciate it. Appreciate the birthday shout. Yeah, but it's still, listen, it's still plenty out here, man. It's still plenty out here. Still plenty out here, y'all. If you can, like I said, when I first started in this business, when I first started, right, I would go to these brokers, I would get these loads, and I was just doing what I knew how to do at the time. I'll get a load. I think I picked up a load from, what was it? No, I was somewhere about an hour away from the crib outside of Columbia, South Carolina, and I think I took that to Kentucky. I ended up bringing I brought some vending machines, some Coca-Cola vending machines to the Coca-Cola plant out in, where was it? Out in Louisville, Kentucky. I did a drop out there. Think I had like 10, 10 of those Coke machines on the truck, like back then. And back then I wasn't super familiar with, like parceling loads on the box truck, right? I thought that was just something that was for uh flatbeds at the time. Like, I didn't have a lot of knowledge of that stuff. But as I got more familiar and started learning more about, you know, how I should be doing that thing, especially if I'm going a longer distance in that vehicle, like I was missing so much money that I could have made when I really got a better understanding of how to sell that space on my vehicle versus a broker telling me, hey, we got a load going from here to there. It's 12 pallets, right? And that's all the money I'm making for that run. When you can clearly do it an entirely different way and turn $1,000 load into $3,000 on that trip, right? In a box truck. Like, think about it. When you see these 53 footers, They have 53 feet of space, and a lot of brokers are looking to basically hitch a ride onto the truck that's going in the same direction as their freight needs to go. But they're hoping that you already have a load on your truck so that they can pay you to add theirs onto your truck, right? Their partial freight to add their load onto your truck at a lesser expense because you already have money on that truck. So when you come and when you look at the business from that perspective, that changes everything for you. That turns the tables completely around for you as far as what you could make in that week when you're maximizing the space that's available on your truck. Right. And when I did that interview with Jerry in his 16-foot box truck, that really opened up my eyes to the possibilities for a 26-foot box truck. That opened up my eyes back then because I was like, wait a minute, this guy is doing this with a 16-footer going from Cali to the East Coast every week, making the type of money that he was making back then. I'm like, yo, imagine if I did apply that same thing to my 26-foot box truck because I didn't know. I was just booking loads. I was just running, put one load on it. I'm rolling. I'm rolling. Like listen, when I put a load on that truck, most times I don't plan on moving, especially if it's not a full truck. I don't plan on moving that truck until I put something else on that thing. Like I told my driver, once we put that load on the truck, I said, yo, go to Walmart, stop at Walmart. I'm still working. I'm like, I'm still working. I'm back on this board. I'm still working. Hold tight. Call them back. I got us one. I got us one. They're like 59 more miles. Go grab it. We taking that to Mass. Then we gonna double back early in the morning, drop that thing off. One we got on there now, drop it off. But you gotta be like, you gotta be you gotta be a beast and understand how to put them things together. Soon as he pulled in Walmart, I said, bro, you got the measuring tape? Go back there and measure how much space we got left back there. He gave me the measurements. Let's go. I'm back on the board. Back on the board. I got one. Head out. Head out. Rate con coming your way. So that's how I like to work. That's how I like to work. That's how I like to work. Mm, okay, okay, okay. So you own 3 trucks already that I have running under this company. I'm trying to transition into the freight market as well. I'm thinking about just insuring a cargo van for about 4 months. Yeah, you can do that for sure. You should be able to do that. It should be cheaper. It should be cheaper to um just just double check with the F because I know FMCSA you gotta have 750 is the minimum in order to push that authority active. 750,000 is the minimum. So Barbara Lee, go look up my. It's like a lot of different. It's a lot of different stuff that they ask for that new entrant audit. I got a video. Go back, look on the channel, and look up safety audit. Just put Big Vic in safety audit. My video should pop up, and I tell you everything that they asked for when I passed mine, my first one. Yep. Go there. They'll definitely they will definitely it's all the information that you need is on there. It's on there for sure. Appreciate the birthday shout, Jose. Yes, sir. Wishing you well. Wishing you well, Jose. Appreciate the birthday shout, Darius. Appreciate it, DK Matthews. Appreciate it. Yeah, so that's really gonna be the way, you guys, that I'll put it this way. I'll put it this way. And I did this in a short. I put this in a short video too. But I said that if you understand and can master how to sell that space on the back of that truck, y'all, versus you picking up one load that's taking up your entire truck and traveling with that a distance. Now, I mean, if you try and put them together like that versus taking a full truckload for your box truck, you're gonna make more money doing it the other way. Even if you, that's why I say get up early. Start jump on that load board early. Put that first load on that truck, whether you got 4 or 5 pallets on there. Get right back on that board and see what else is going in that same direction that you're taking that first load to. Now, what I typically do, and this I think I shared this one time on here before too, but what I typically do is once I put that load on my truck, I go back on the load board. I go right back on the load board. I put in my origin where I just picked that load up at, and I'm putting in my destination. Putting in my origin and my destination. Now, where I'm dropping off at, my new search is gonna have my origin destination in it, 150 deadhead on both ends. I always do 150 on both ends. Sometimes I'll do 200 because something might pop up 151 miles that I might miss. So I'll probably do 200 on this end, on the destination end. And what that's going to tell me is all the freight that I'm now looking at. Listen to this. This is a key right here. Now what I'm looking at on the load board is everything that's going to be in between what I got on the truck and where I'm dropping it off at. So everything that's popping up now on the load board, if the dimensions are right, if the weight is under my weight capacity, and I can add that extra onto it, I'm going to add it on there. That's how you're going to make the most money with that truck. I'm telling y'all what I know. I'm telling y'all what I know. If I play this thing right this week, and I don't really talk about my numbers too much, but if I play this thing right this week, with already have what with what I'm picking up in the morning, heading to New Mexico. By the time that Thursday come around, we gonna be up there. Just know that the number gonna be up there. The way I'm gonna work that truck, the number is gonna be up there. The number's gonna be up there. My guy's so motivated right now. He like, bro, this insane right here, man. This insane. And I said, and he like, bro, they keep saying ain't no money out there. I said, bro, don't you can't pay that no attention. I said, look at your rate cons. You tell me, is your money out here? Look at the numbers. Look at the rate per mile we got for 2 loads going in the same direction. Wasn't no $1.50, wasn't no $1.75. Both of them almost at $3 a mile. I ain't playing. I'm not playing with this thing, man. I think I'm here to just be playing around. I'm dead serious about this business, bro. I'm not playing Madden no more. This my Madden now. If y'all missed the beginning of the live, you'll catch on what that Madden is about. This is my Madden now. This is my game that I'm playing. These the sticks that I'm controlling now. So if you can listen, if you can master that strategy right there and get really good at that, you're gonna make more money than most people that are just putting one load on their truck and just taking that, to its destination. Get really good at that. Now, sometimes you may find yourself in a situation where, okay, boom, you couldn't find nothing else. So it happens sometimes, but at least make sure what you do have on it that you're getting paid a good rate per mile for that, right? But if you start early enough, you typically can make it happen. You can make some things shake with that. Like that strategy is different, right? So even guys that have the 53 footers, even though they got the big freight, that's what they're doing. That's what they're doing. You go to the back of that truck, you be like, okay, boom, that right there, that's 3,000 right there. That piece right there, that's 1,000. Oh yeah, those three right there, that's going to so and so. That's another 1,500, right? So they having 6, 7 grand on one trip. That's how you want to do it. You get good at that. Make the trip worth it if you're gonna go that distance. Is my whole point of this. Make sure it is worth it if you're going a longer distance with that freight, right? Know if you're going into an area that's not paying the best rates coming out of there, right? You have to relay that information to the broker. Brokers know when their freight is going to an area that's not so great to get out of there. And when you're armed with that information, you can relay that to that broker so that you can get paid more money for that going in. That's going to help offset some of that weak freight you might have to take coming up out of that location, right? And you use that as negotiating leverage when you're negotiating that particular load, that you're taking into that area. Like you getting a nice bag going in, right? And if that area is a little weaker coming out of there, then you know you got to mention that during your negotiation. Like I went from, yeah, yeah, yeah. Listen, listen. It's going to hit different from you when you start mastering that, and especially if you're new, as your authority gets more mature and gets more age on it, the sky's the limit for you at that point, right? There's not too much that you're not going to be able to move out there as your authority gets more age on it, right? You're doing good business with brokers. You're on time. Your face, your company's face card look good out there, right? So you're not running to any issues with the type of freight that you can pick up with brokers. Every time you on board with a company or you give them your MC number, there's nothing weird coming back about your company, right? No brokers are reporting you to carrier 411 because you you keeping your business good out there. So, that's just some tips I wanted to give you guys, man. I wanted to jump on here and just get you guys in the mindset of, get you in the mindset of making sure that you take this very, very serious, very serious, and not getting distracted by all the stuff that's out there, right? All the social media stuff, all the entertainment stuff that's out there, things that just pull you away from staying focused and staying locked in on where you're trying to go, where you're trying to build for your future and for your family. Because it's just so easy to get distracted these days, man. We got more information than a little bit coming at us. So much. Like them algorithms be algorithming out there. I promise you. They be algorithming out there. Uh, let's see. Some brokers do, Darius. So I personally have 1 million because my insurance is set up with Amazon. So typically, if you have the insurance requirements that Amazon requires, then yes, that's going to cover pretty much any most brokers that you run with, right? Some now certain freight you may run into to where if you do have 100,000 cargo insurance, you may run into one or two brokers that may have some freight that may need a little more cargo coverage on it because it's a little more, the merchandise may be a little more expensive or whatever it is, maybe something precious. I'm not sure, but I ran into that a couple of times. But now with my insurance company, I can do a temporary cargo increase, right? Like for just one time, right? And I may have to pay like a couple more $100 to increase the value of my cargo insurance, and they'll do that for me. That's why I like the new insurance company I'm with. So if I run into that with a broker, I can increase my cargo just for that particular load, right? But if I do that, I got to be getting a few more $100 for that load because I'm gonna have to pay for it on the back end. Uh, like my next bill with my insurance company. So yeah, but 1 million, if you got a million, 2 million in the aggregate, 100,000 cargo, that's gonna take care of most brokers. But 750,000 is the minimum that you have to have in order to push your uh, authority active. That's the minimum that the FMCSA requires is 750,000. Um, so right now, some of the biggest challenges I would say are uh just having a new authority right now is one of the biggest challenges, I would say. Being a new authority and and starting off uh and using the load board, to book those loads. Like I said, a lot of brokers now with all the different fraud that's happening with so many different, brokers, double brokering loads. That's probably some of the I don't run into that often, but it does happen. I know I've seen more of that when I first started and I didn't know what it was, right? I didn't know that there were brokers that were brokering a load from another broker, right? And giving it to a carrier and a couple of hands getting paid on that particular load. So, but that's probably the biggest thing. I would say the biggest challenge right now is for newer authorities. But I've ran into newer authorities that, they were able to find work and a lot of them still get loads. Like they still book loads. There's still brokers that will let you run their freight. It just gets frustrating when you're a new authority and you're calling so many different brokers and you're hearing the same thing from them where they're telling you, yeah, your authority's too new, we can't use you. Gotta be at least 6 months, 90 days, a year, depending on the broker. So that's probably the biggest thing right now. The rates in trucking always this is like nothing that's new. Rates have always been up and down like that, depending on the market that or the lanes that you run. It's always been like that. Like trucking has always this like that's nothing new. So when rates drop, truckers have always been talking about rates dropping one time, at times, way before I got into this business. But uh there's a lot of positives, that can come with that. Right? Just like I just ran this load for the broker, dropped everything on time. He hit me right back like, "Hey, I got this same load from the same shipper. Give me a number on New York to New Mexico." I hit my drive up. Mentee like, "Yo, what's up? I got one going to New Mexico. What's up? I can get us a nice bag going in that direction. It ain't gonna be a full truckload. You know what that mean, right? So you will start establishing those relationships. Right? I didn't have to go back on the load board for that load. I was able to get that directly from the broker. Our Raycon already locked in Friday, right? We picking that up in the morning. Well, sometime tomorrow between I think we got between 10 and 3, we picked that up and we heading out with that one. So it just depends, man. But there's gonna be challenges in any business. In any business. Oh, for sure. For sure. Anthony said, "What state should I stay out of? I have a 26-foot box truck." Uh, the number one state I always say is Florida. Some people like going to Florida. I don't. Florida is one of those states that no. Mm-mm. Boy, them brokers is going 50 cent you to death coming out of Florida. I remember we got caught up in Florida one time. It was paying good, but coming out of there, I knew it was going to be a problem. I knew it was going to be a problem. But we got out of that state. That's one of those states, man, that if you can get a dollar coming out of that place, you're doing good. You're doing good. Hey, Bub Johnson, what's up, Bub? Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. Absolutely. Yeah, that yeah, that Max Force up, man. Be careful. Be careful with that Max Force engine. And now, see, a couple years ago, I ran into somebody that also had a Max Force. They said they never had issues out of their Max Force. So I don't know. So I think it's sometimes just be one of those things. So what does the communication supposed to look like when you have both a driver and dispatcher? Well, I mean, if you have a dispatcher, uh, you should kind of know where you want your truck going to before you even hire a dispatcher. That's the conversation between you and the dispatcher. So most the average dispatcher is just looking to move your truck, right? So that communication between driver and dispatcher is like, okay, they should be asking you, okay, where you trying to go to? Right? What's your plan? Like what's your strategy? Where are you trying to go? Right? If I'm looking to go to the Midwest. If a bag is coming out of the Midwest going to the East Coast that's paying me something crazy, I'm going there. I'm going where the money is taking me, right? But what I would do if I'm using a dispatcher, I need to be up. Me and my dispatcher need to be up early. We need to be up early, right? So I'll just give you an example. If I'm up early, my dispatcher is up early. I'm putting the truck on I'm finding a load for my truck. Hopefully he can find me not a full truckload, partial load that I can put on there and add something else to that load. That's my game plan. Pretty much. I need to add something else onto that truck. Need to add some more freight onto that truck. Keep me under my weight, going in the same direction. Not too much deadhead between those drop offs. Like I got I got a mentee going to Oregon. He's on his way to Oregon right now. And I had 11 pallets on the truck. And I had one more pallet space left. We didn't get to book it because it was taking a little time for him to get loaded and it had to be picked up by 4 o'clock. But and it was y'all know who had it. TQL had that particular little 4 foot partial, and they only wanted to give me like $350 for that one to go in about 7 hours out of Cali going to Oregon, almost 8 hours. But it was what you got to look at is it's extra. right? If it's gonna cost me $300 in fuel, that little partial is basically my fuel. And what I ran the other 11 pallets, that's my profit, right? So that one little extra partial, even though it was like 60 something cents per mile, that still was enough to cover fuel for that trip, for that one pallet. Y'all follow me? If y'all tracking, throw the thumbs up. If you're tracking what I'm saying, throw the thumbs up in there. So that's kind of how you can maneuver with that. That's why I talk about not filling, not filling that truck up, not filling it up with all that freight so that you can add more onto it. Like some people don't like to do it. They just want one load, drop it off. That's it. They happy. They're fine with that. But they're also missing money when they do it that way. That's all I'm saying. There's more ways to run it up in that truck than just having that one load on it. So that's another reason why. So I remember when I first started looking at it, and I was like, wait a minute. They want me to put that on my truck. 75 cents a mile. But a switch had went off in my head. I had to realize, like, okay, they're expecting me to have other freight on this truck already. They just want to add theirs on to that ride. And me, listen, I don't mind sending an email to a broker or on the phone with a broker and telling the broker in a heartbeat, like, listen, you basically want me to pay you to move the freight, huh? If I run it for that number, I'm paying you. I'm not gonna pay you to run your freight. You got to pay me. Right. So I got little things that I say here and there when I'm talking to brokers, just so that they know I know what I'm talking about when I'm moving this stuff or moving this freight. Right. And I get them to bump it up. I get them to bump them numbers up. But if you can add on, listen to me, if you can add on, listen, if you was good with that game Tetris, y'all remember that game Tetris? Where you gotta fit the little blocks in, and if you was bad in that game, probably gonna be bad trying to parcel your freight. But if you was good in that game, if you made it to like level 8 or 9, or you really got high up in them levels, you're gonna do really good when it comes to selling that space on the back of your truck. For sure. For sure. If this good information right now that I'm giving y'all, throw the fire sign in, throw the fire sign in the chat. If you feel like you can do that, what I'm saying right now, throw the fire sign in that chat. So basically, that's the conversation. That's what the conversation needs to look like between you, your driver, and the dispatcher. Or if you have a driver in there, you should be communicating this same type of information to your dispatcher, simply because your dispatcher has to understand how you like to move your truck, right? They have to understand how you like to move your truck. So, and I used to be looking at the load board. It was foreign to me when I first started looking at that load board, until I really started understanding, like, okay, it's a reason why there's a bunch of partials on there. While you're looking at the load board and it says full truckload or it says partial, because they're expecting you to have something else on there. So when the rate for that partial looks way less than your full truckload for the truck, that basically is that's a sign, like, okay, they expect me to have other money on this truck. That's why the rate is so low on this little piece right here, right? 1,000 pounds. It might be 90, or it might be $1. You gotta look at it. You just added another dollar onto your truck. If you already had $1.75 or $1.80 on there going in that same direction, you just added another dollar on there. Now you at $2.75 for everything that you have on that truck. And if you still got time, and if you're in one of those markets where freight is going into and freight leaving out of, you have an opportunity to add something else onto that truck. You have the opportunity to add more money onto that truck. So my two loads that I had last Thursday, and we dropped them Friday morning. Well, this past Thursday, we dropped them Friday morning. Them loads is over $5 a mile. Over $5 a mile for both loads. That's how you win in this business. That's how you win in this business, y'all. Don't listen, don't let nobody tell y'all ain't no money out here. I'm gonna tell you that now. I'll tell you that now. Don't let them tell you ain't no money out here. Don't let them tell you ain't no bread to be made out here. You just gotta know how to put it together. Just gotta know how to put it together. It's there though. It's for sure there. Yeah, man, Anthony, that's a great question right there. That's a great question. Do you ask if the load is sealed or not? Because I've had a couple sealed. Now that's a great question. Now, if they're giving you a seal, that's something that should be established before you even book that load. That's a great question because uh when it's a dedicated load, now that's the difference between dedicated and partials, right? If it's a dedicated load and they give you a seal, now I'm gonna give you another tip. Here's another tip. Now, sometimes you'll go to a shipper and the shipper will, yeah, they'll put that seal on it. They will put that seal on it if it's supposed to be a dedicated load. Now, if they hand you that seal and you got room on that truck, they're expecting it to be dedicated. Just don't show up to that shipper with other freight on that truck other than their freight. Hopefully, you can read between the lines on that answer right there. Just don't show up to the receiver and make sure you have that seal. Make sure you have that seal. Because I've dropped loads before, and if you don't have that seal, they have no way of basically tracking that load. They have to write that seal number down. But if you had room and you did put something else on that truck, make sure that load that you added on it, make sure you're dropping that off first before you go take that load to that end receiver. And if you gotta put that seal on there, put that seal on there. Cover your butt. All right. Box trucking 101. Classes in session. Classes in session. Let's see. What if you get what if you get two partials, but the first one you put in the truck goes off first? What do you do in that situation? Huh. Now, yeah, you well, if you got a pallet jack, and you need to get off that truck and move the other ones out the way so that they can get their freight, then you got to do what you got to do. That's happened before. I got something else on here. I'm gonna come on back there and get this other freight out the way for y'all so y'all can get y'all stuff. You can do that. That happens. That happens. That happens. So what I want y'all to realize is this. At the end of the day, that is your truck. That's your truck. That's your truck. And you got to be able to maximize it to the best of your ability, you know, and make all trips worth your while you're out there. Like all that driving, if you're doing a lot of driving, you want to make sure those trips make sense for you at the end of the day when you drop that thing off. Listen, If you don't get excited as you're getting close to that drop off, you didn't charge enough money. When that BOL gets signed and you jump in that truck and you ain't glad to get that off your truck so that you can factor it or send it in to get to invoice it to get paid, you didn't charge enough money. You should be excited. Absolutely. That's why you got to be able to put that is why you have to be able to put those together. I remember I mentioned this to somebody before. They was like, man, that's too much. You gotta drop off at one place, then you gotta go drop it off to. They clearly didn't understand. They don't understand the game. They don't understand the business. They just want to pick up one and go drop it off. That's it. That's the old way of doing business. The new way of doing business to maximize the space on that vehicle. You want to be able to do this enough times. Listen, I want to paint this picture in your head for a second. You want to be able to do this enough times to where if you said to yourself, I'm taking next week off. All I gotta do is run the same play again next week, and I'm gonna run it back up again. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you do that the right way, and you out there for a month or however long you're out there, you set that up the right way, man, your life gonna change, man. Your life changing. I'm telling you that now. Let me go ahead and walk you into your destiny right now. Your life is changing if you do what I'm telling you right now. And you understand how to start putting that stuff together. Your life changing. It would never be the same again. Real talk, y'all. Your life is changing, bro. I'm telling you now. Because you're you're going to be able to you're going to be able to do something out there in a way that most people that have box trucks are not doing that. They're not doing that. Most of them running Amazon. They may be mixing it up, but a majority of them are running Amazon exclusively. Y'all know our Amazon, they be canceling loads left and right. Right? They good when they good. And they act crazy when they want to act crazy. But if you get really good at that, y'all, I'm telling you now, your life is never gonna be the same again. Never gonna be the same again. I brought my guy in, brought my guy in, a new mentee came on board with me, and he was running with some other people. First week with me, he's like, bro, I wasn't making money like this, bro. I wasn't making money like this. So, bro, I ain't never did over 2 grand in one day, bro. So, bro, it's different. It's different, bro. It's different. I'm gonna show you how to really do this thing. I'm gonna show you how to really do it. Y'all gonna see his testimony in a minute. I'm gonna bring him up here. I'm gonna bring him up here. We gonna talk. We're gonna talk. Matter of fact, when he dropped that thing Thursday, I called him Friday morning. I think it was about 8:30. I said, I'm on the board. I said, where you at? He said, man, I'm en route to the last drop off. I said, wait a minute, you already dropped it. Tell me, that thing been gone, man. He said, that thing been gone. I'm in the wind, man. I'm in the wind about to drop this last one off. I said, that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about. Let's go. Let's go. He said, man, this thing different. He talking about, boy. And he ain't scared to make no money. He ain't scared to make no money, bro. He listen. You gotta be coachable. got to be coachable. Like this, what I'm telling y'all right now. This alone. If you apply this alone, what I'm telling you right now, this going when you start. If you haven't started yet, when you do start, and you're able to start putting these things together like this, it's gonna be game over for you, man. It's a wrap, man. It's a wrap. Everything you heard anybody else told you that sounded sideways, that's going out the window, man. Roll your window down and let that out. Let that fly. That's behind the truck now. That's back there, man. Don't even look. Don't even look back. Don't even look back. Mash the gas. That's all I'm gonna tell you. Mash the gas. Mash the gas. It's gonna hit. It's gonna hit different for you. It's gonna hit different for you. What's going to bother you? What's going to bother you the most is and what's gonna get under your skin as you start doing this, and you know you got a trip you gotta take, and you look in the back of your box, and you got about 16 feet of space left back there, boy, you ain't gonna want to move that truck till you get something else on there. You can be like, man, Big Vic said this thing was gonna aggravate me. You're gonna be like, man, we only used up 10 feet, but I need something else on this thing. Let's put some more money on this thing, bro. I'm telling you, it's gonna hit different, man. Once you really start putting this stuff together and start realizing what's, you know what I'm saying, like how you really play this, how you really play this thing, man. Like I said, don't play just to play. Play to win. Play to win. If you're gonna drive to win. Hey, hey, the best to you, man. So you ready to set out this week? That's what's up. Hey, man, it's all love, Mike. For sure, for sure. I appreciate you. Yeah, I did. I ran an Amazon load a couple of days ago. I ran one a couple of days ago. Is there room to make money OTR with a 22-foot box truck? Absolutely. Absolutely. You got 22 feet. If you if you find a 10 feet setup and find another 10 feet setup, you do the math. That's 20 feet of space. That's 20 feet. You get both of them going in the same direction. Hopefully they both dropping in the same, the same city, state. That's money, man. That's money. Let's see. What you got? What you got? Oh, we at 10:59. What we been on? Hour 39 minutes. 139. I got about 20 more minutes. 20 more minutes. You got some questions? Shoot them. Shoot them. So, Barbara Lee, that's a good question. So, when you see those Amazon loads that are on DAT, if you're in this, if you yeah, they're definitely official loads, yeah. But you got to have an Amazon account to run those. Got to have an Amazon account. If you see the 1-800 number and it says Amazon on that on the load board, yep. Good thing about those loads when they pop up on DAT load board is you can negotiate more money with those loads. Right? It's typically a load that's sitting on the load board on Amazon's load board that's been sitting there, nobody's picked it up. So that's going to allow you to be able to negotiate more money for that load. Like I remember when I was OTR, I was in Columbus, Ohio. Shout out to Bryson. Um, I was in Columbus, Ohio. I was at the hotel. I think I did a vid. I put a video up too when I was out there near Hebron, Kentucky, and all that stuff. that during that time. I was out there and there was a load on the DAT load board. Man, bro, I'm telling you, I had made so much money out there at that time. While I was out in that area, I just happened to pull up the load board, DAT load board. I seen the Amazon load up there because my boy already gave me the heads up. He said, man, them Amazon loads be on DAT load board out here all the time. I saw one, called the Amazon guy up, dispatch, and he was like, "Yeah, if you can get there by if you can get there by 3 in the morning, I'll let you get this one for 1,000." And y'all, it wasn't even that far. The load was only going like maybe 90, maybe 95 miles. But I knew number one, I was tired. I wanted to get some rest. I was at the hotel. I wanted to get some rest. It was $1,000. I knew if I went and got that load, my clock was going to start, which was only going to give me a certain amount of hours left over after I dropped that load. And I was doing a 34-hour reset, and I didn't want to mess up my clock for the week. So I said, bro, I can't make it. I said, if I can come pick it up at 7 in the morning, I can come get it. But he's like, nah, we need to get it picked up by 3. So, but yeah, so if you call in, typically, if you got an Amazon Relay account, you call in to that DT load that you see posted. You can get those loads at a way better rate than what's on the load board. At least $200 to $300 more you can negotiate with them for those loads that pop up on DAT. Almost 100% of the time. Almost. Um, that's a good question. Do you ever use Amazon Relay to get closer to home when there's no other loads on DAT load board? So when I'm looking at DAT, depending on where I'm at, if I know I'm going back, so I know most times if I'm going from, if I know I'm going from, uh, if I know I'm picking up a load that's bringing me from Ohio to Charlotte, North Carolina, then yeah, I'm not paying Amazon Relay no attention. I'm going straight to DAT. But yes, I have looked at the load board to see if there was loads coming out of, that area. So what I've done before, for example, I was in Nashville and I was looking for a load to come back to Charlotte. I was on DAT. I also had Amazon Relays load board up too. And they had one coming out of Laverne, Tennessee, going right to Charlotte to CLT9. So yes, I've been able to jump on Amazon Relay load board and catch a load, bring me right back to the crib, just running Amazon. And it's typically Amazon to Amazon, not post office stuff, just Amazon to Amazon. So yeah, Amazon now that Amazon Relay account, like y'all always hear me say this, having an Amazon Relay account can definitely benefit you when you are an OTR driver. That just opens up your windows of opportunities. That gives you more opportunities when you're out there. Let's say I'm in an area like when I was in Ohio, um, I didn't want to go super far. So I just pulled up the load board, I ran some Amazon stuff. Ran Amazon Relay Freight. I was catching them Amazon to Amazons back and forth. Ohio to Kentucky. Ohio, Kentucky. Like they're so those states are so close to each other, and those Amazons are like all right there, not too far from each other. I was catching them good rate per miles. I was catching them off DAT load board, and I was catching them off Amazon Relay load board. So, like I said, there's a way to be able to mix your freight up out there. Shout out to Frenchie for the super chat. Appreciate you. Yeah, but yeah, it's definitely a good. I think I mentioned that earlier. Yeah, there's definitely opportunities for 22-foot box trucks. Absolutely, absolutely. Make make sure it's dock height too. If it's dock height, you definitely in the game. Yeah, TJ, you got to catch me on the next live showing the load board. This not this particular live is not the load board. not on this go round. You catch me on the next live, I'll definitely pull them up because I'm actually gonna jump off here in the next 15. Uh, do I still believe people are taking cheap freight? Roger asks. Absolutely, absolutely. I believe they are. I believe they are, especially Amazon Relay Freight. Like, like, ah, I wouldn't. I can't say I know for sure, but I know that if I'm looking at DAT load board and I'm looking at the averages that are up there for certain lanes, and I'm seeing brokers moving it for less than what the averages were, then that signals that somebody's taking freight for way cheaper than what the average load is moving for and for that particular lane. That's a signal. That's a sign for me. Um, let's see. If you stop paying for insurance, they're more than likely. Of course, your authority is not active. If you stop paying insurance, the insurance is that what keeps it active. That's how they get their money. Um, you may be able to reinstate it. So I would definitely reach out to FMCSA. See if you can get it reinstated. If not, they may. It used to be like $80 a while back, but you may just have to pay the 300 again. But they should definitely be able to reinstate your authority, your MC number if you already have it. You just gotta pay that full 300 again. Uh, having a delay. So Breeze, uh, what factoring company are you using? I mean, if now, well, here's another thing. With most of those companies, what you can do is you can ask them if they have quick pay, if they offer quick pay. If you're running for a broker and you don't have a factoring company, just ask the broker, do they offer quick pay? Most of them do. So you don't have to let factoring stop you from running. Not being set up with a factoring company stop you from running any loads. Most brokers, a lot of them do offer quick pay. Within 3 to 5 business days, once you submit your invoice, BOL, and rate confirmation. Yeah, I've heard a couple of people mention canal insurance. I heard that a couple of times. I know a couple of my guys that are with canal. Said canal insurance is a good insurance company. When my truck was down, I just had to pay a minimum of 300 to keep my authority. See, there you go. They go a nice little tip for you guys. They got a nice one right there. So Wolfpack asks a pretty good question. What is the purpose for factoring? So the purpose for factoring is when you have, if you're a new company, uh, and if you go to DAT load board and you can look at brokers' credit scores, right? So typically the brokers will tell you if you don't factor, how long it takes for them to pay you after you complete that load. So on average, you're looking at anywhere from 20 to 30 days before a broker will pay out for that load, right? If you don't do any factoring. That basically means you'll get a check in the mail, or if you have ACH set up with them, they will pay you within, their time frame that it takes them to pay out for their loads. Factoring comes in to where once you complete that load, you can get your money within 24 to 48 hours after you complete that load versus waiting 30 days from the broker. So the factoring company said, hey, a lot of new people can't, as with their new businesses, they're not in positions to wait 30 days to get their money, right? Can you save money that way? Absolutely. If you have money saved up to where you can wait for your broker to pay you for that load, then you don't have to worry about paying factoring percentage fees. Factoring can be anywhere from 2% to 3.5% that they'll take, for paying you within 24 to 48 hours. I like my money a little faster, so I factor my loads, right? They even offer same day pay. Of course, you pay a little more money if you want your money paid the same day from a factoring company. So hopefully I broke that down for you you know, broke that down for you pretty good. Yeah, Jay, you can absolutely run paper logs until you get, until your ELD comes. I think when I got one back a while back, it maybe took like a week or two to get mine in the mail. Excuse me, to get mine in the mail from them. But yeah, I went to the truck stop, picked up a couple of paper logs. I still have paper logs in my trucks now, but I do run ELDs in them. But yeah, you can definitely run paper logs until you get, until your ELDs come in the mail. Absolutely. Okay, okay. Yep. It typically doesn't take them too long to get you set up. If you look at most of my videos, I use OTR. Um, if you go to any of my videos, check any of my links down in the description, or click on my Linktree link. Um, and you can get set up with OTR. Yep. Yeah, my birthday is tomorrow. So yeah, I'll be my birthday is in 40, almost 40 in 45 minutes. My birthday's in 45 minutes. So I got about 5 more minutes and I'm gonna slide out. Oh, slick. Yours tomorrow too, bro? Happy birthday, fam. Happy birthday. We got the same birthday. That's what's up. It's tourist season right now, man. It's bull season, man. Box truck bully right in the business. We gonna bully the business, man. Happy birthday. Slick turning 37. That's what's up, bro. Happy birthday. So when I'm not uh dispatching mentees, it just depends on what I got going on, man. Depends on what I got going on. If I'm local, I'm grabbing some Amazon stuff, or I catch some other freight with DAT. But this past week I only ran a couple times because I was just working on some back end stuff for the company, and I'm about to hire some drivers. So I'm getting everybody's information together and start doing some interviews this week. So now with Jay, funny you mentioned them. I don't have any referral codes with them because um I didn't like that they had a contract over there. Like I didn't want to. I feel like if you got a great load board, I shouldn't have to sign a contract, right? They wanted me to sign like a year contract or something like that. I was like, no, I don't think I want to do that. Like I was actually trying to set up, get a situation set up with them, you know, to at least let me see how I like the load board, and if it produces, then I wouldn't mind at that point. But I let me decide if I want to continue a subscription with you guys versus you forcing me into one for 12 months. Like I wasn't feeling that. Like it's just not guaranteed that I'm a book loads through your load board, right? Let me decide that. Don't force me into giving you my money for a year. It's all I was saying. It was like, yeah, we'll waive the activation fee and all this other stuff. Like, nah. I haven't seen enough, I haven't heard enough from people that use it or select this my virtual fleet. They I haven't heard enough people give me like super like a lot of results from them using that. So um that's why I didn't do it yet. But I definitely wanted to try it out to see if it worked for me. Yes, they do. Yep, they do, Macho. I hope I said that right. Harold Macho. Macho Harold. I believe yeah, they do work with new MCs. Yep, they do. Shindir, Shine Dre, what's up? He said he watched a few months. Hope enough game rubbed off, jumping into the swamps with the gator soon. Yes, sir. Good luck to you, brother. Good luck to you. It's out here. Jonathan, Jonathan, you got to go to my link tree. Go to any one of my videos. Click on my link tree video. I mean, my link tree link in the description box, and it'll bring you over there to that link in there. All the information is there. I think I'm down to one. I only got one available slot right now. Um, the extra $5 ACH fee on OTR. Um, I'm trying to remember. Do I pay an extra $5 ACH fee, bro? I'm trying to remember if I do. I think it. I'm trying. I might. That might be a one time. I got to look at that again. To be honest with you, I got to look at that again. Matter of fact, I think I got one from them. Just got one from them the other day. Let me see. I'm gonna look real quick. See what that if it was up there. OTR, where y'all at? Do. There we go. Um, um. Yeah, it's not saying exactly if the $5 was in there for the ACH. Nah, my ACH fee say zero, bro. It don't say $5 for mine. ACH fee zero. Nope. ACH fee zero. But so for example, 11.50, $40 came out for that to factor those $40. $931 came out of that to factor that. So I paid 71.75 in factoring fees on $2,050 in invoices. But that was 1978 paid to me the next day, right? For two loads. Two loads. Those are those two partials I told you guys about earlier. I'm looking at my scheduled payout for factoring those loads. It's 1970. That was $2,050. 300 something miles. So it stuff works, man. It works. So no, I do. So I know a couple of people. My cousin said he's been using selectors for years. He's been using selectors for years, but I don't know. I know a lot of cargo van guys use it. I know some box truck people that use it too. I know some people that have used it in the past. I did do I did have a meeting with them and they kind of walked me through the load board. But I just hear more people say they emailed a numerous amount of brokers before they even got a bite, and you're bidding on those as well. So yeah, I haven't heard enough good results with that board for me to use it myself. I know my driver when my driver was driving my other truck before he was using selectors. He said he loved it. But I think it was like 300 a month or something like that for that load board. 350, something like that back then. This was a couple years ago. But he said he did book some pretty good loads at that time. I'm not sure about right now. I just it it made me just a little skeptical because they want you to sign a contract for 12 months. I don't like that. If it's a good load board, I should be able to cancel whenever I want to cancel. That's my only hang up with them. Like I wouldn't mind trying it. Like if they were to reach out to me and say, "Hey, we want to let you try the load board for 30 days, and if you like it, then hey, if it's working for you, you can book some loads. You making some money with it. I don't mind paying for it then, but just to come in and know that you locking me in for 12 months, nah, I'm not doing that. I'm sticking to DAT, man. I'm doing well with that load board. I'm doing very well with that. And there's no contract I don't have to sign no year contract. You know what I'm saying? Like if it's that great, you would not be making people sign an agreement for 12 months. I get it from a business standpoint, but at the same time, if it's great, the people are going to keep it. You don't have to force them to keep it. That's my opinion on that. And you said $450, and you just said it's not worth it for me being under six. You see what I'm saying? $450, man. And that's every month. You see what I'm saying? Paying 450 for selectors, and it's not worth it for me being under 6 months authority. Man, oh man. Barber, no, I personally I don't use the fuel card or a clutch card. No, I don't. I just do factoring. Yeah, see, that's it. See, Anthony, you telling me everything I need to. This is why. This is why the red flags came up for me when I did that call with them. Um, yeah, and you said they're not getting back to you. Man, listen. Yeah, they playing games over there, man. That is what I don't have time for. That's what I don't have time for. But Yeah, man. Hey, I appreciate y'all tapping in. I appreciate y'all tapping in to the content. Hopefully this was a valuable live stream for you guys because this go if you came in late, go back and watch this live stream because you're gonna there's some nuggets. There's some nuggets that I shared in this live stream that will definitely help you get to where you're trying to go financial wise if you put these loads together like I've mentioned in today's video or today's live stream rather. So yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and get on check on up out of here. Uh is a pallet jack, I'm gonna answer this real quick. Is a pallet jack required to have? Pallet jack is definitely good to have. Get definitely put a pallet jack on your truck for sure. Every load is not gonna require a pallet jack, but it's definitely gonna come in handy if needed. You may have a load that requires a driver to unload. And if you don't have a pallet jack, you're not going to be able to unload it unless you get to a receiver and they have one. But that's not always, you know, the case. So they ask if the driver has a pallet jack. If so, that's also more equipment that you're using on your vehicle and you can charge more for that load. All right. I'm going to go ahead and get out of here, you guys. I appreciate y'all tapping in. As always, thank y'all for coming through. We at 75. We on the road to 100K. Hopefully we can crack that by end of May, June. We can crack that 20 some thousand. I need to hit that 100. I appreciate y'all, man. So listen, if you need a strategy session, of course, you see the link coming across the screen. Go to inside of any of my videos, click on the link tree link. I only have one more slot available for my mentorship program at the moment because I'm working with a few people and I don't like to overwork myself when it comes to doing this mentorship stuff. So one slot, tap in with the homie. If you want to come into business right now and start making money immediately when you get your truck, not having to worry about your authority being a month or 3 months or whatever the younger age is. We get right to work when you come in and tap in. All right. It's don't me Big Vic, man. I appreciate y'all tapping in. Till the next video, always hustle, never stop growing. Let's go. Let's get it. Let's eat. Y'all enjoy y'all night, man. Birthdays up.